If you recognize this scenario in your business, you should be listening to the rest of this podcast. If your product should be selling, if your ads, if they look good, if your website feels polished, but the sales dashboard looks like a flat line. Today, we're going to talk about the real reasons your product is not selling, the ones that no one wants to admit to themselves. Most agencies will not tell you what I'm about to tell you. This is not about motivation. This is not about working harder. This is about fixing that invisible leak that are quietly killing your revenue. My name is Wayne Altman. This is Straight Talk Commerce Podcast. Going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Here to break it down with the sharpest minds. Money moves, mindset, grind.
If you own a business, you're going to find this very interesting. Most products do not fail because the product is bad. They fail because customers do not immediately understand why they should even care. If someone lands on your website and cannot answer this question in 3 seconds, why is this for me? You've already lost. Let me give you a case study about this. You know how I love the case study. A direct-to-consumer supplement brand increased their conversions. The people that bought from them increased by 42% without ever changing the product. They only changed their advertising headline. It went from premium daily wellness formula, which is a tongue twister. They changed it to stop the 3 p.m. energy crash without caffeine. Same product. Same outcome, very clear in its integrity and its outcome. And the lesson I want you to take from that is that people do not buy products. They buy solutions to problems they already feel. And if you can't solve your customer's problem, your customer will find the solution elsewhere. This is true for anything. If you are a doctor and cannot solve your patient's pain, guess what? They're going to go find another doctor. I want you to take that to heart. All right. If there was something on your website that I'd want you to fix first before anything else, it's this one. You're selling features. Your customers only buy outcomes. They buy benefits. And most product pages that I read like instruction manuals. They don't read like sales pages. They use terms like high quality materials. They use phrases like advanced technology, designed with care. None of that sells to a customer because customers want to know what changes after I buy this. What pain does this solve? What status will I gain from owning this piece of material, this piece of clothing, this cologne? What relief will I feel, and how much speed or confidence will I gain from purchasing this? We'll do another case study. The cookware brand. And they stopped listing their specs, and they started showing their customers phrases like dinner in 12 minutes, no scrubbing, 1 pan, 0 stress. And it increased their revenue 31% in like 60 days. And the lesson there is features tell, but benefits and outcomes sell. All right, so to a lot of newer brands, This may also be one of your problems that you want to check into very quickly. So if you have a newer website, you are just starting to sell, check this just prior to the other thing that we were just talking about, features and benefits. Check this first. You're asking too much trust too quickly. If you're an unknown brand and you're asking someone for money on the first interaction, you're fighting human psychology, and that's a tough nut to crack. Your customers may be thinking, will this actually work? Is this a scam? What happens to me if I regret this? If I pay for this, it doesn't work, what happens? Are they going to stand behind their product? Now, here are some fixes that work immediately for that. You've got to give them strong guarantees, 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Social proof, and you need to put that above the fold, the website fold. You need to make sure that you've got comments all over the place from people that have actually purchased this product from you and are happy with their decision. And you want to use risk reversal language that makes the customer feel comfortable. And if you need help with the risk reversal language you need to be using, I'll put a PDF in the description of this video that will give you some key phrases that will help you reverse that risk and help people understand you can be trusted better. But let's do a case study real quick. A famous apparel brand, free returns, no questions, no attitude. That single line increased their checkout completion by 18% in the first month. The first 30 days, it increased by 18%. And the lesson there is sales friction is not price. It is never price. It's fear and value. If you remove that sales friction anywhere you find it, you remove it like it's your sworn enemy. You need to hunt it. You need to kill it. Make it as easy as you possibly can for your customers to say yes to you. If they are uncomfortable, make them comfortable. If they are afraid to do business, reassure them. It works. Okay. So that's good for people that are just starting out. Maybe you've been around for a while. You got a ton of traffic, but no sales. Well, look, that is also a problem. Your traffic may be wrong, even if there's a lot of it. Let me give you a very brutal metric. High traffic plus low conversion equals wrong audience. And you should get on your knees and thank your lucky stars that it's that easy to identify that issue. If your ads are optimized for clicks, for views, for engagement, and not buyer intent, your store is entertainment. It is not commerce. You need to optimize for sales at every turn. Matter of fact, there should be no traffic you're getting that you're just asking for clicks, that you're just asking for engagement. Engagement is something that comes along with the sale if you ask for it. Reduce clicks on your website to under 3. 3 is a maximum, and I want you to give as many options to pay as humanly possible. If you've got to take chickens and eggs in return for that sweatshirt, by God, that's what I want you to do.
A chicken and these eggs for this high-quality garment.
The chicken alone is worth more, but I accept.
Very well. It is a deal, then.
I want you to create a very slippery funnel for your customers to just slide through. And then study your analytics and get to know your customer. Because frankly, none of the people that come to me know who their customer is. They think they know. They think they have an idea of who they want their customer to be. They've made up this image in their mind, but they don't actually know who their customer really is. Who are the people that are actually buying? That's your customer. Whoever is buying from you, that's your customer. So if you are thinking of yourself as a luxury brand, but it's all of these lower economic customers, people that are saving up their money to buy from you, Listen, that's who your customer is, and you need to capitalize on that. We're going to do that with a case study. TikTok heavy brands shifted their ad targeting from interest-based to problem-aware keywords. Now, when they did that, they tripled their ROAS, the return on their ad spend, and they actually got less traffic. They got less traffic, which is incredibly good news, because once you increase that traffic, you increase your sales that much more. You need to target your customer. A good hunter knows their prey. They can anticipate when and where that customer is going to be, just like a hunter in the woods with deer or elk or moose or whatever it is you're hunting. And they'll lure them in. They'll lure them in with an irresistible treat, whether it's a doe that's in estrus or it's, whatever it is that deer just can't, that customer just cannot resist. They're going to lure them in. And they make that customer their only focus. Listen to me. It's not politics. It's not your philanthropy. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes before your customers' wants and needs. The lesson here is more traffic won't fix bad alignment. Better traffic will. Find out who your customer is, not who you think they are. Find out who your customer is. They will tell you who they are. You do not tell them who they are. Okay. After we've checked those important things, we're now going to look and check your offer. Because it might be that your offer just isn't compelling enough for them to pull the trigger, for them to take action and buy from you. Great products still fail with a weak offer. I want you to ask yourself, is this a nice to have item or is it a must have item? And some of those nice to have items become must have items just in your description of them. So if you've done the work that we've talked about before, you may take some of those nice to have. You may go from nice to have to, I must have this. Why now? Why not later? Answer those questions now, buy now. Answer those questions of why they need to do that. And a winning offer is going to include urgency, that buy now. You're going to give them a reason to pull the trigger right now while they're there, while this is going on. And that may be through a sale, that may be through an extra added gift. There's a lot of bonuses that you could include in there, which brings us to bonuses. Bonuses will increase perceived value. In other words, you do not have to give a material bonus to someone in order to increase the value of the offer that you've already made people. And let's make a clear differentiation between your offer and the other offers that are out there. It needs to be very clear why to buy from you. Why am I buying from you and not someone else? Case study on this. A software tool added free onboarding and a done-for-you setup once they sold that software as a service. Now, just doing that and very low cost, if any cost, their conversions jumped 2 times without them lowering the price. As a matter of fact, in one of the cases, they actually increased the price, but lowered the cost it was going to take to onboard someone or give them, set them all up. People don't buy when it's cheap. They buy when it's clear. They buy when there's value. If you remove the concerns, stop their excuses, and create their urgency, that's when they'll buy. Okay. Here's where we get to the secret sauce. Here's where we get to the less obvious things. And these are things you're not going to hear any place other than Straight Talk Commerce. There comes a place where you are too close to your own business. And this one is the silent killer. And let me explain to you what I mean. What I mean is you know too much, your customers know nothing. And what feels obvious to you is totally confusing to them. In other words, you think that the offer is they should obviously buy from you. They are sitting there confused. And then you need someone else to go in and have conversations. You need to be having conversations with your customer. The only way to fix this issue and make sure that it is squashed is to record about 10 customer conversations and listen during that conversation, way more than you speak, but listen for exact phrases that they use, emotional triggers that may come out, and their objections, and pay very close to their objections on why they're not buying from you today. Why are they not pulling the trigger right now? Listen for those objections. Take price out of the equation. You do that by, is there any reason other than the money you don't buy this from me today? Is there any reason other than the money you don't buy from me today? After you've taken price out of that equation, that's when the real the real problems pop up. And then you're going to rewrite your site using their words, not yours. The market tells you how to sell if you will listen. They scream at you and about what they want to buy and how much they're willing to pay if you will listen. You only have to listen. Your ears are your analytics. You go straight to your analytics and it will tell you what your customers are saying. Get it from the horse's mouth. Do not trust anything else other than what your customers are saying to you. If you're having trouble making sales, ask your customers why they're not buying from you. Okay, in this final takeaway, I want to recap everything that we've talked about here. It's not a real long podcast. You should be with me. Hopefully you're still with me. You're going to be selling a lot. If your product is not selling, I don't want you to panic. This is not the time to panic. Do not panic. I want you to diagnose. I want you to check for clarity. I want you to improve your customer trust. I want you to refine the traffic. I want you to refine the people that you are talking to and clarify your offer. Make it very clear to people what you're offering and for how much, what their responsibility is. And that way you can then enhance your messaging. Fix those things. The sales will follow. All right. If this episode made you feel uncomfortable, good. That means that you are closer to the fix. You're about to fix the issues on your website, and that's fantastic. If you get value from this podcast, this episode, and I have a pretty good feeling that you did, I want you to hit the like button. Share it with your friends. I definitely appreciate that, and I want you to subscribe for more Straight Talk Commerce. You know I don't sugarcoat growth. I will explain it. And if you would, drop a comment. I'll give you a complete teardown of your product or your offer or your entire website. That's how I get a lot of my clients come to me. That's what this podcast is used for, is to draw people to me, and so I can help you even more on an intense level. No matter what, I appreciate you coming and listening to these lessons. And just remember, I love you.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I break it down with the sharpest minds. Money, moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the lessons they bring, from Jelly Belly to AA Kings, from the startup grind to the top tier pros, we crack the code, now here we go. Straight